before we start, let me warn you, there's two major misconceptions that we have with this. Number one is instead of velocity, it's easy to think speed. Right? The difference between speed and velocity is what? Direction matters, right? So let's look at this guy because he shows that very, very well. As he falls, what's happening to his speed? Speed is increasing, right? You fall faster and faster and faster. So that must mean, that you have a positive acceleration, right? You don't. Right? That's thinking in terms of speed. If we think in terms of velocity, what's actually happening is you're going from a speed of, remember your speed's downward? So it's going from negative 10 to negative 20 to negative 30 to negative 40. Your velocity is decreasing, right? It's becoming more negative. So the acceleration here is actually going to be negative. You want a more conceptual way to think of that? I do. Acceleration, if we think ahead a chapter or two chapters, I think, acceleration is equal to force divided by mass. Have you seen that before? If the answer is no, don't tell me. You should have seen that before. So the acceleration is related closely to the force, right? So find the direction of the force on the object. If you're falling, the force is downward, right? That's in the negative direction, so the acceleration has to be negative. All right? Good. What about the velocity? What do you say for the velocity here, Zach? You say negative? Why?
Because the motion detector being the bottom where you go to line.
Okay.
Getting closer to it and getting close. Going down.
Yeah.
Being positive.
Okay. Yeah, so up is positive. He ain't going up. So he ain't going positive. Right? That's one way to think about it. Zach, it sounds like, may have been thinking about the graph that he made. Right? When we did our motion graphs. He said it's getting closer, so the slope is down. Slope is the velocity, so it's negative. I don't know if that's what you were saying, but it's a connection we can make. What about Serena? The acceleration of the ball. What do you guys think? What did you say, Enrique? You put positive? Why? When she throws it up, it's getting higher. Good. It's moving upward. What do you think, Barrett? Positive?
But would it affect his, since it's not much gravity on it, doesn't it slow down as it goes up?
Right. So here's where we maybe get into another misconception. I said, and I was careful to say this, I hope you heard it, she's just released the ball, right? The ball's not in her hand anymore. Once the ball leaves her hand, does the ball have any memory that she used to be pushing it up? No, and that's really important to realize. The ball has an upward velocity because inertia is carrying it upward. But the ball has no memory whatsoever that she used to be forcing it upward. What is the actual force on the ball? The only force on the ball is gravity, and gravity is pulling it down. So does that help? What direction is the acceleration? It's downward, and we said down is our negative. So we've got negative acceleration. Can I tell you guys a secret? I hate to give you shorthand, and maybe this exposes one of my weaknesses. I think it's a strength. I hate to give you guys shortcuts. I'd rather have you actually understand it. But anytime gravity is the only force acting on something, the acceleration must be negative. Right? Because gravity always pulls things down. Makes sense. What about the velocity? Positive or negative here? What do you say to that one, Chris?
I say it's positive because it's going up.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So the positive because it's going up, I like it. Now, we have a positive velocity, we have negative acceleration, but be so careful. the acceleration is not negative because the speed is decreasing. Right? The acceleration is negative because of the direction of the acceleration, because of the direction of the force is a better way to think of it. All right. The first shall be last. What do you say? Jessica, what's the acceleration of the Rockito? Positive. You sound confident. It's going up, but isn't that the speed? I like it. I couldn't shake her. Right? Nice job. She's absolutely right. It's the speed is increasing upward. Right? The truth, what's really going on here, yes, gravity pulls this thing down, but the rocket booster pushes it forward much, much more. Right? Otherwise, it wouldn't get to space. So it's accelerating upward, and since it's moving upward, the speed is also positive. Nice job. How you guys doing? Questions about those? Is that a question? All right. Here's 5 more. And these ones are more horizontal. These ones are probably a little trickier. Number 1, and this is all 1 right here. You have a dude driving down the road, sees a dog in front of him. Slams on the brakes. Here you have a muscular dude running with no clothes on. Kind of strange. Probably going to get in trouble for putting that online, but whatever. Here we have a ball rolling down a hill. Here we have a ball rolling up a hill. And here we have a ball rolling up a hill. Let's always use to the right, like we mentioned up here. Let's always use to the right as our positive direction. All right? Try these. Try them by yourselves for 2 minutes, and then we'll talk about them at our tables, and then we'll get together as a whole class of homies.